Man, that spring green up is ridiculous. And I haven't even put down my spring fertilizer yet, but I did put down something that people have either forgotten about or forgotten to mention. But let's talk about it. So my brother-in-law James makes an absolutely mean pork chop, to the point where Sarah's like, why don't you make your pork chops like James makes his pork chops? I'm like, why don't you make your pork chops like James makes his pork chops? So I'll call James, I'll say, James, man, help me out. How do you make your pork chops so good every single time? And he's like, well, you know, I do something different every single time. And I'm like, no, you don't. You don't walk up to the bat every single time and hit homers. So he'll give me some vague runaround recipe where I'm like, yeah, we're not working off the same sheet of music. Come to find out, he had a secret sauce. Something he wasn't telling me. So annoying. God, a lot of wasted pork chops. So the secret sauce in my lawn is not some perfect blend of fertilizer that's gonna cause you to have to cut your lawn every 20 minutes with that excessive growth from nitrogen. It's actually a mineral supplement from Pennington. It's called Ironite. It has a smidge of nitrogen in it, but its blend is 100 on that nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, the normal blend of fertilizer. So it's insanely low on nitrogen, and that nitrogen is a polymer coated urea, so it's slow release. So there's virtually no chance that you can put too much of this Ironite on your lawn. That's not a challenge. I wouldn't just dump buckets of this out on your lawn, but you can really lay this down pretty thick on your lawn. And what it is high in is sulfur and iron. I mean, what did Popeye eat like crazy? Spinach. And what is spinach really high in? Iron. And the results speak for themselves. Hey, what's up guys? My name's Tyler. Welcome to another edition of the Lawn Review. So guys, why I really like this Ironite, again, is it's not a fertilizer. You're not gonna get massive amounts of growth and have to cut it super off, but you are gonna get a super deep green that comes from that iron and the sulfur. It used to be a lot higher in iron, but like with everything these days, cost savings measures, I guess sulfur is cheaper than iron, so they're replacing some of that iron with sulfur. I think it's like 9% iron, like 33% sulfur or 23% sulfur, somewhere around that range. So it's actually a little bit higher in sulfur than it is iron. So maybe they should call it sulfurite, but that's not really the point. The point is this stuff is super easy. So if you put this down and you're somewhere in the range of the recommended dosage for your lawn, you're gonna be fine. Don't sweat over this stuff, it's awesome. You can put iron down in your lawn basically all year, just wouldn't put it down in winter, but anytime during that growth period, you can put iron. You can put this down with your fertilizer, you can put it down in between fertilization regiments. You can do both. I put down iron in my lawn about every 2 months, and I don't fertilize that often. So now that we talked about why I like Ironite so much, now let's talk about how to put it down, and it's really easy. Ironite comes in two different methods. You can put it down on your lawn two different ways. You can put it down granularly, like you do with your seed and fertilizer, or just throw it in your broadcast spreader or drop spreader and put it down just like you would anything else, or you can put it down in liquid form. So you attach it to the end of your hose, or you put it in a backpack sprayer, depending on which brand you buy. You can get Ironite from Pennington's, or there's another brand called Sunnyland. They're both basically the exact same. This will really help green up your grass really fast in the spring. If you put this down in mid-summer, maybe early summer, this will help keep your lawn green throughout those hot summer months, and then fall, it'll just extend that green period of your lawn. It will like prevent it kind of from going dormant. So you'll have a longer green season. And like I said, I put this on 2-month intervals. Hey Siri, remind me to put Ironite down in 2 months. But yeah, all you do is you put it down exactly like you do fertilizer or seed, make sure you water it in, and then you're ready to rock and roll. You should see results with the granular fertilizer in about 7 days. In the liquid or foliar application, you'll see results in like 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. So a lot of people think that liquid works better than granulars, but I think that's just because you have that initial shock reaction. You'll walk out the next morning and be like, whoa, that is so green. Whereas the granular, it takes some time to seep into the root zone, up into the foliage, so there's a little bit less of that like initial pop. Guys, I put out a short just absolutely dogging the Scott's broadcast spreader because the impeller on the thing, here, let me show you really quick. The impeller that broadcasts your seed or fertilizer or whatever is just slightly below the rim of these wheels. So a lot of your seed and a lot of your fertilizer or Ironite will get stuck in the inner part of this wheel right here. I can't stand that spreader. I'm gonna throw it away. But the spreader that I do like to use is Yardstar by the Andersons. It's gonna be considerably more expensive than the Scotts, but you know, if you're doing all this work, make sure you get something that works. You can see the impeller height on this is much better. It's wide open, so you get a much better broadcast. Just a tip. Guys, if you found this video interesting, you might find this video interesting as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.